Street performance is the embodiment of the essence of London, a living culture right here on the street. London is bustling with impressive street performers. Some people might stop, some don't, but the show goes on. It's 2:27 p.m. So you're on in 10 minutes. Oh my God! So are you nervous now?
Yeah, no, I'm nervous.
Does it get easier as the shows go on, or?
Yeah, the more I do, if I do a lot in a row, so this is the first one I've done for a while, for probably a week, so I've forgotten that I can actually do it.
Ready?
Yeah, lipstick on teeth, good, good, good. It's amazing, I feel quite intimidated.
My fascination in street performers brought me here to Covent Garden in London, and I've been inspired by Hazel. I want to know what it feels like, the adrenaline, the embarrassment, how you go out there on the street and perform. I'm going to go home to Bournemouth and I'm going to buy a costume, go out there as a statue, and I'm going to see and experience it for myself. The thought of standing on the street with a load of people, they're not coming to pay for a performance, so when you go to the theatre they expect it, whereas I'm just going into their normal habitual routine and dressed like this, so I know it's going to be a bit odd.
When I started doing it, I did it in a suit because I wanted to have status as a woman standing on the street and shouting and being vulnerable, because when you start, it's not like a theatre where you get to stand in a rehearsal room and you spend weeks getting something perfect until you show it to people. You've literally got to bare your soul in front of everybody and fail.
And now I've chosen to wear this mask because I think it's going to stop me from smiling. Because if I just had an eye mask like this and people were laughing at me, I know I would smile and it would ruin it. Whereas this is like neutral. Like this, I can sort of mask behind it, so people aren't going to know who I am, so it gives me the confidence to go out and do it. Well, I could be anyone.
I think if you're a girl, it's definitely harder. I think, you know, you've got to be a little bit more, shall we say, sharper. So I have an awful lot of respect for girls like them who, you know, have mastered the courage to just go, look, this is what I do. You know, fuck you if you don't like my style. Yes, so I'm a woman. And what? You know.
A friend of mine gave me this red dress, and I was like, oh, I'll try. Why not climb a ladder in a ball dress? And as soon as I put it on and went out on the street, it's quite bright, so it's kind of like a beacon. And people just was like, there's a lady in a red dress up a ladder, we must watch that.
This is my headdress, which I love. It's quite unusual. I'm a bit worried about the wind and like it blowing off. And I've got to be still. And I'm gonna like stick. I mean, this is quite hard to do this. And these are all the things that, see, it's not easy. All the things, how they do it. I mean, stick them on like this. And then I'm gonna have the mask like this. I'm a bit blind at the moment, but I'm going to figure it out because I think it makes it a bit more feminine. It's not very comfortable, and that's what I don't understand, how I'm going to stand there for such a long amount of time, just still, because it's going to be like meditation. It's going to be like yoga. I think I'm going to feel pain in parts of my body I didn't even know you could feel pain.
I think there's a difference between statues and comedians, jugglers, such as Hazel. Your ego is far more on the line than if you stood as a statue. I mean, obviously two different art forms, but in terms of like putting your soul, over the bar, I think it's far more scarier, and it sort of seems to attract more troubles because you're out there trying to connect with people.
Here I am in my spot, ready to spray myself. It's a little bit windy. I'm not sure if I recommend doing it on the beach, but this is where most people come by, most of the traffic, so this is where we're gonna do it.
stand here for this amount of time, with all the wind and the stand and everyone looking at you. I cannot do my heart. Oh.
I don't know what other street performers do in central London or whatever, but I'm gonna have to get this off somehow. There's a big ocean there.
It's genuinely the worst emotional experiences of my life, and I'm not going to become such a street performer anytime soon.
I'm a female, obviously, and I think that was a brilliant show, and you had lots of laughs and lots of cheers.
Thank you. That's good to hear, because sometimes when you look out there, you can't gauge it, and maybe it's because you pick the time to look out when nothing's really happening. And for me, sometimes when I looked out, they were like, yeah, and other times they're kind of like, and in those moments you're just like, just smile. All you got to do is smile.
Nothing to see here, sir. Nothing to see. Carry on. Sean, are you okay? Sean is quite happy. Welcome to England, Sean from Denmark.
If you go to a small town and do a show, because nothing else like it is happening, they're totally like, oh, cool, something, what is this, what are you doing? And they're engaged with it in a completely different way. Whereas in London, there's so much to see, and they're going around seeing all the tourist attractions, and it's all kind of happening. You're just another thing happening.